That fight scene also that you had to like show me like was just intense and just like, because it feels more like a kung fu fight scene or something. Like you're like, whoa, this killer knows how to fight too. Hello, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of Direct to Dumpster. My name is James.
My name is Blaze.
And this week we are checking out a movie straight from the dumpster from 2004 called Satan's Little Helper.
So I think everyone has seen, this VHS or DVD cover in your local Blockbuster back in the day or any rental house. This movie, I feel like, was sold everywhere. I think you can even find it in Redbox now. And after watching it, I think I understand why.
Right, yeah. And I feel like it's an iconic poster, but I always felt like it was like a little puppet creature or something too. Like I think everyone got that vibe, and it always reminded me of just one of those little creatures from like Puppet Master or something. So I figured it was just a spin-off of one of those movies.
It definitely reminded me of the character from Trick or Treat.
Yeah, I can see that. Sam, I believe that little mascot character's name. And but what do we see this movie's about? Well, this movie's about a naive little kid who's obsessed with video games. He thinks that his real life Satan character that he loves playing as is a real life character, and he wants to be his little helper.
So that totally threw me off because, like you said, I think everyone thought this movie was about like this little gremlin type character.
Yeah.
And there's actually no like fantasy elements in this movie. It's just about a serial killer who's going crazy on Halloween. So I did like the Halloween vibes that this movie had because it takes place all just on one day, Halloween. And it's about like the little kid who's so naive, he's literally helping this serial killer commit crimes. Naive
is like an understatement, though. Like dumb as fudge is like the best way to describe this kid. I don't know. It's just on another level of how dumb this kid is and some of his actions are. And at times, you can tell this movie is meant to be like a black comedy. There are a lot of parts that do play for laughs and are comical, but just at times I just couldn't get behind what this kid was doing. And just like I think the problem with this movie, I'd say, was that there wasn't really a likable protagonist except for the main blonde girl, but at times she can be naive, at times the sister. While she doesn't do anything that makes you hate her, at times it's just like the naiveness of everyone in this movie is a little over the top.
And there's a good 30 minutes where she kind of just disappears and you're just focused on the naive little boy, and
it's too much at times.
So for the most part, with this movie, I was kind of pleasantly surprised, but then at the same time, cracking up at how the production is I think it was one of those kind of straight to video. It's a straight to video type movie, and the production is very low budget, but they go out of their way to make certain scenes kind of play out more awkwardly or more for that home video crowd.
Right.
So you'd be like, oh, dope. I checked out this movie and it's actually got more than I bargained for.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, though. Actually, I will say that this was a very entertaining watch the whole time through. It's sadistic. It's one of the more it took me back. It's been a while since I've seen a movie. I'd say the first VHS, the segments with the what's it called? The partiers trying to film girls and stuff. And then they're attacked by a succubus or whatever. With this one, it kind of made me feel uncomfortable again, just by how sadistic this character is. Doesn't say anything the whole movie. Never get to see his face, and just the stuff he's doing, and just involving a little kid with his killings. It's just really uncomfortable, but it's comedic at times, but it's on another level of how creepy and weird this movie is.
Yeah, and it has a special thing to it where not every part, the production does kind of falter in certain times where they'll zoom in digitally.
You call it out right away, 10 minutes in the movie.
And there's some scenes where they didn't get certain shots that they wanted, so they just cropped into the actual shot, that you're looking at the wide shot and they'll crop in to get the close up of a certain character. They obviously didn't get that day, but it's super jarring. And there's other just parts of the movie where their production kind of faltered and they didn't give us they could have just kept it wide. I felt the whole time.
There's times also where it feels like the script was changing while on set or something, but then I feel like that might have worked towards the plot, where they wrote it that bad on purpose. This couple is on their first date, but they're like, I don't know. There's a lot going on. It's like a very crazy relationship, but technically this is their first date. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this is just one of those wild movies that you might stumble upon Netflix drunk in one night and actually be pleasantly surprised at how it is pretty funny. But like you said, it's very sadistic, pretty violent. But then also the violence ranges in type of like a cartoon type way. There's scenes that look like they're pulled straight out of like a Bugs Bunny cartoon or Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah. Some of that fight scene also that you had to like show me like was just intense and just like, because it feels more like a kung fu fight scene or something. Like you're like, whoa, this killer knows how to fight too.
No, but it's so comedic in how he's throwing punches, like as if it's a punch. It's literally like a punching bag.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to the end of the day, for me, I definitely recommend Satan's Little Helper. I think you should check it out. I think this is that type of direct-to-dumpster gold that we're looking for.
I mean, it's Halloween time as well. This is like perfect Halloween movie with it, taking place on the night of All Hallows Eve. And it's definitely a different watch that I feel like not a lot of people have taken the time to check it out. But everyone's seen this cover at Blockbuster or on Netflix or something at one point. I'm pretty sure actually I remember seeing it on Netflix Instant Queue when you first gave me your Netflix password way back in 2006. I think that was when you were the only person I knew had instant streaming, and it wasn't a thing yet. Everyone's like, why do you have Netflix and stuff? And
and also it was like Satan's Little Helper, and the other movie was Fiddler on the Roof.
Oh, I see. That was on there.
It was like, and I remember Fiddler on the Roof was the first movie I ever streamed. And I was like, actually really like Fiddler on the Roof is a good movie. So I was just like stoked.
It's got a good voice. Yeah.
Yeah. It's got a great soundtrack. So I was into it.
Right on. That's going to close it out for Direct to Dumpster this week. Thanks so much for the support, everyone. And the best way to help us out is by watching Satan's Little Helper on our Amazon affiliate link in the description box below.
Make sure you guys smash that like button and leave us a comment. Let us know what you thought of Satan's Little Helper. Also, hit that subscription button and click that notification bell to know when our new videos come out.
Drive-By Movies closing out this week's episode of Direct to Dumpster. Be sure to tune in next week for another new episode.